When you purchase one of our DIY meth testing kits, you'll get a test cassette, a sterilised swab, a liquid buffer and a template. You need to mark the level of the liquid in the buffer. After you've marked the buffer liquid, you need to shake it for 20 seconds. After shaking, remove the entire cap, insert the swab and ensure it absorbs as much liquid as possible. Kitchen is one place you don't want to miss. It's important to test the window frame around the stove, including the joinery. Keep the swab moist by dipping it. If you can remove the filter from the range hood, also test inside the range hood. Surfaces around the range hood, like walls and the ceiling, are really important. For initial screening, test above shoulder level. Avoid common areas where there's a lot of hand usage, which could give you a false positive if somebody who uses meth has actually come and used any of the switches or the phone. Because of the nature of airflow, you also need to test door frames, including joinery, walls and ceilings. When you're swabbing the wall, don't use the pointy end, use the side. You need to absorb as much of whatever is on the surface of the wall as possible. Keep the swab moist and cover a good area of the surface, turning the swab while you do it. It's also important to test window frames and joinery, walls and the ceiling. Meth is attracted to electricity, so it's really important to test around the power board. How do you know you've taken enough samples? Check the buffer line, and if you've used over half the liquid, that's a great indication. Put the swab back into the buffer liquid. For 60 seconds, squeeze all that sample out of it. You need to shake it for 20 seconds. And now we're ready to test. 3 drops at 5-second intervals into the S region. If the above shoulder height area is tested negative, then for verification we need to use another test kit. This time I'm going to test the lower levels, high hand traffic areas. Light switches, walls, drawer handles, power switches, window handles. Make sure you've covered the entire area. it's Lynn here from Methtestingkit. There's been so much negative publicity lately about instant testing kits. I'm beginning to wonder if someone's trying to protect their livelihood. The only way to prove it to you is to show you. This piece of wood comes from the kitchen of a contaminated house. I'm going to test it right now. This should come up positive. Three drops at 5-second intervals. Now while we're waiting for that test to come up, I'll show you what a negative looks like. Once again, 3 drops. A negative should have 2 dark lines. A positive will have 1. A partial will have the faint T line and the strong C line. As you can see, the negative is already coming up with a strong T line. However, the positive is showing the strong C line with no T line action at all. Hi, it's Lynn here from Methtestingkit. When you purchase one of our laboratory-based testing kits, you'll receive sampling cloths, templates, prepaid courier bag, adhesive, gloves, and your analysis request paperwork. forget to include the analysis request form with your sample in the courier bag. The laboratory won't process your sample unless you include the analysis request form. Simply Google meth testing scam, meth testing cowboys. The list goes on. You'll hear all the horror stories. By doing your own sample, you can be certain nobody else contaminates it. Send your sample directly to the laboratory from any New Zealand post shop. The laboratory we use to process your sample is exactly the same laboratory the other meth testing companies use. There's no difference in quality.